John, there's a new oligarch in town. You know this, right? Like George Soros is old news. Yeah, we have.
Do we have a new one? Is that why George Soros' checks are bouncing?
Well, not for us. It's that God
Ah.
Emperor Elon Musk has shut all that shit down. Soros has no power here.
It is incredible to see. I'm telling you, TJ, like Elon Musk, he's a glass cannon of a political figure because he is both an incredibly strong asset for the Trump team and the fascists in general, but he's also incredibly vulnerable. And we're going to be talking about this, I'm sure, throughout the show through multiple segments, but I just can't help but thinking how fucked this guy is unless he keeps Trump in power forever. Because like there's no way that anyone believes that everything that he's doing is all above the board legal. And like it's not like the statute of limitations on some of this shit is 4 years. Like he's exposing himself to so much risk right now. We might not get there. We might all die. He might, do a fascist coup of the government. Who knows? But I'm waiting for the chickens to come home to roost on this one, TJ, and it's going to be a very happy day in my life.
Yeah, that's like the one silver lining I have with everything that's going on here is that it's too late for Trump's reputation to be destroyed during his lifetime. But Elon Musk, plenty of time, and Elon Musk will do it for us. He can't help himself. My theory is like why because he didn't like latch on to Trump until late in the campaign. He wasn't really doing this until I feel like into the summer last year, where he started going all in on MAGA and everything. And that's because he's in trouble with his investors and Tesla and with it's also Tesla where they have like the Cybertruck and the robots and everything, and that ridiculous iRobot display he had, and it's like, okay, he's just frittering away these people's money, and he's doing the same thing to the U.S. government, folks. You guys ever wonder why Elon Musk is so dead set on his Mars mission thing? Well, there's two reasons. Like one, I think he sees it kind of as his destiny. His dad named him after a character in a book named Elon, who was like an astronaut on Mars or something. So he's probably always had it on his mind since he was a kid. But also because Elon Musk is using this humanity must expand to the stars. Like we have to colonize Mars as a way to just borrow a bunch of free money or be granted a bunch of free money from the government. Like we are a century at least a century away from any type of possible colonization of Mars. Like we do not have the technology. Elon Musk is not going to figure out in the next 25, 30 years he has on Earth, but he can get a few $1 billion for his industries, and that's why he's so big on it. And this house of cards he's built will collapse pretty soon. And I don't know if it'll happen during Trump's presidency, fingers crossed, but it will happen.
And that's that you use the exact right terminology there, house of cards, because again, this is not a political analysis. This is just a functional business analysis of the Elon business model, where he is incredibly overexposed on Tesla stock. Like, let's forget all of the Trump shit, right? Let's pretend that I like Elon Musk as a person and a political figure. I would still be saying, hey guys, Elon bought a lot of Twitter. What was it, $44 billion?
Right.
Twitter, and that stock is now worth something like $9 billion last I checked. All of that money that he used to buy that wasn't his money. It was money borrowed against his Tesla stock. If his Tesla stock plummets, it will create, like TJ said, a house of cards which will crater his net worth. And let's see where his political and that's why he's going all in on the politics thing. He needs protection for himself. And that's been his entire thing. He's not a guy, as much as everyone says he's a genius, he's really not. He hasn't invented anything. He has bought companies. And you can make an argument that he has led them successfully, and I'll have plenty of counter arguments for you, but that's not really the point here. The point here is he doesn't create actual things. He doesn't invent. He invests in companies and buys them and grows their stock value. That is his asset as an entrepreneur, is gaining more money for the companies that he owns. And eventually, when you continue to borrow money from everywhere without producing anything that has a ton of revenue, it's gonna crumble. Like we've seen it time and time again with a lot of different businessmen that have followed very similar business models. And it's all going to come crashing down eventually. Unless he's just the best at it ever, TJ. Maybe he will keep the Ponzi scheme going until he's well into his hundreds and he dies.
I will have to say, I gotta give Elon Musk credit for being such a good charlatan because
he's the best. He's the best to ever do it, TJ. He's the greatest of all time.
I would have said last year, I would have said Donald Trump is the greatest. And I still think Donald Trump is a very close second, or 1A and 1B, if you want to call it that. But the reason I give Musk the edge is because Donald Trump has the benefits of charisma and humor and personality. Elon Musk doesn't have any of that, and he still does it. He goes up. You see him. In fact, I got a couple of videos of him in the Oval Office. I'm sure you saw those, John. And he's up there talking, and I always thought, man, if I were Elon Musk, I would never make a public speech. Never. Because he's so bad at it. It's not just the stuttering. It's just that he makes jokes that don't land and observations that don't make sense. And he's just fumbling over his words all the time. And he doesn't seem like someone who could inspire people to say, okay, wow, this guy's got a vision. I would follow this guy into hell with a can of gas. You don't get that when you listen to him. But somehow he has tricked people into giving him money, and hey, props for that. He has a skill.
It is a skill. That's something.
Somehow.
I also think that he's just kind of like magooing his way through this. Like, I think that he has gotten very, very lucky at many, many turns, and it has turned into a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy where people just give him the benefit of the doubt now, and they're like, "Here, take my money." And now, like, you see what he's like doing, like he's like responding to people on Twitter, like saying like that's illegal or whatever, when it's clearly not. And it's like, yeah, he's just threatening them, like that's what he's doing, and it's very upsetting to see. What did Mark say here? Yawn. Tesla stock went from 188 to 355. Yeah. So here's the thing, Mark. It's all Fugazi. Like if it goes, it doesn't matter how high it gets. It just matters if it gets low enough. Like that's all that matters. We've all seen what a bubble is, Mark. I know we know what it is. I know we know what it looks like. Tesla doesn't make cars that people want to buy. They're getting destroyed. Like if you look at their market cap versus the amount of cars they actually produce, I believe their market cap is larger than GM, Ford, Toyota all combined. But they don't produce nearly as many cars. So like, do the math. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, of course, Tesla stock went up. I mean, Elon Musk is the most powerful man in the world. And you're the president of the United States, why wouldn't it? I would expect it to go up, honestly. We're just talking about the entire operation in general, and that Elon Musk has tanked Twitter. He had tanked Tesla. I mean, look, before the election, Tesla was in incredibly bad shape. I mean, Elon Musk said so himself. He talked about how the Cybertruck has been burying Tesla. The Cybertruck is an absolute joke. Look, we're not shitting on Elon Musk because we don't like him. I mean, we don't like him, but we're shitting on him because like it's such an easy scheme to see through that we've seen billions of times, several times before. So I don't know.
I would sell my firstborn currently, who hasn't been born yet. I would sell him proactively to Jalen Hurts. I'd be like, hey, you want him? You take him. But if Jalen Hurts owned Tesla, I would also be saying, hey, these business practices don't have a lot of, sound fundamental basis and sustainability. That's just the case.
Elon Musk has made so many hilariously absurd predictions on his shit. It's like, hey, in 2010, he said we will have a human being on Mars by 2020. He predicted we'd have 1 million what were they called? Robocabs on the street next year, a few years ago. He tried to pass off that those robots were autonomous robots. The fucking Hyperloop. Listen, the Hyperloop is like the monorail of the real world. Whereas like, look, we're gonna have this, like the concepts and the videos he had for this thing made it seem like
TJ, a monorail would be much better than what the Hyperloop is. You could put a tricycle.
The monorail would be better. The monorail would be better. Yes, the monorail. I mean, the Hyperloop was just a tool to circumvent any sort of public transit. So his genius plan was to dig a tunnel underground and have a single car operating one at a time. I don't know. Wait a minute. Right. You guys see what the entire world. No, Mark, we see what you're missing. Okay. Listen, no, it's like if you can't see Elon Musk as a comment, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Are you telling me there haven't been wildly successful comment, Mark? Are you really sitting here telling me that?
Exactly. Like we all know this happens. Like,
Mark, you are smarter than this. I am disappointed. I never. Wow. I don't know what to say. Okay. All right, Elon Musk. Let's get to him. So you guys know what he's been doing with this Department of Government Efficiency thing, which hilarious. I saw a clip of someone talking about, hey, Elon, is there any transparency going on here? Because, you are just there saying, I'm looking for all this fraud, waste, and abuse. But how do we know that what you're finding is legitimate or anything like that? And I loved Elon Musk's answer right here. Let's see what he's got to say. This is it's perfect, Elon. It's actually pretty Trumpian, but let's see what Elon says.
The White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization.
So if you guys didn't catch that, they asked Elon Musk, hey, is there any transparency to what you guys are doing over there at the Department of Government Efficiency? He says, oh, yeah, of course there is. We tell you what we're doing on our Twitter page. And there you go. That's the most transparent. It is the most transparent organization the government has ever seen. I'm sure Mark thinks it's great, though. I'm sure Mark is like, I don't know what the problem is. That sounds legit to me. That's definitely on the up and up. I don't got a problem there. What do you think, John?
It's one of those things where I have a lot more respect for people who are like, yeah, no, I want Elon to go in there and fuck shit up. I want him to do whatever he wants. I don't want there to be transparency. But the people who buy that, I'm just like, bro, if your kid, like if your teenage son was like going to a party and you're like, hey, let's be transparent. Is there going to be alcohol there? And he's like, you know what? I'll text you. I'll tweet at you if there is or not. Like, is that, are you just gonna trust that? Like, is that really where we're at here, TJ, where we're like, oh yeah, transparency means you tell us what we're doing and we just believe you? You're muted, TJ.
Yeah, it looks like 70 million Americans would say that. Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. It sounds good to me. What I want to point out, too, with this, I forgot to mention this, Elon Musk's hands. Do you see that he's making the Illuminati symbol right there, John? Do you see that? He's the Illuminati is confirmed. He does this multiple times throughout the entire interview. It's not a mistake. And I've noticed him doing it more and more. So I just want to point out that the evil cabal of lizard people is headed up by Elon Musk, and conservatives, now is the time to turn against him, because we're anti-Illuminati, right? Like, he's clearly not an exception. He's part of the club we ain't in, so we got to take him down. We can't let him get in control of the Department of Treasury. I think that might be a mistake.
He is such a comically evil person. Like he dresses in a way that look at him. He looks like a Bond villain. That's what he thinks is cool. I thought the same thing about Tulsi Gabbard's like white streak rogue hair, where it's just like, bro, if I were to like cast someone and costume them to be an evil government agent, it would look like Tulsi Gabbard, like exactly like she looks right now. And I'm just, it's hard to maintain any shred of respect for anyone who doesn't just say at this point, yeah, I want them to be doing what they're doing. I really don't care about anything else. And I trust them, and it's okay that they're clearly trying to be evil. Like that's the only type of person I can have any respect for anymore. Because if you sit here and try to tell me, yeah, no, this billionaire definitely has our best interests at heart, he must really hate corruption. I saw someone, I forget if it was a tweet or if it was like a news article, and it was like he's a billionaire. I think Joe Rogan. No, it's Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan
he said, yeah, he doesn't need money. Why would he be corrupt? It's like, yeah, the hyper rich people, famously not corrupt. All of those rich people who don't need any more money, they never want more of it. We've never seen it before in history.
Yeah, it was that when Elon Musk got access to everyone's social security numbers and social security payments and disability payments and Medicare, Medicaid and stuff, people were saying, okay, this is kind of a problem that we're letting Elon Musk have access to, $6 trillion of the taxpayers' money. And of course, Joe Rogan, genius as he is, said what John said. Well, what does he need $6 trillion for? He's already got, hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's like, oh, why would the heroin addict want more heroin? Of course, like, why do you think he got that way? But
thank you everyone for watching this video. It's only me and TJ here today. There's no guest for you to go find, so you might as well fucking like this goddamn video and subscribe to us. TJ, what do you think that this person should do who's watching right now?
I think this person should watch the video lest they die. Like a dog. All right. We'll
It's been a weird one, folks.
Later.
Bye.
Okay.